things like soil profile, soil texture, and so many other things, the soil structure. These are what we refer to as edaphic factors. And then we also have another example of an abiotic factor, which is called topographic factors. Now, the topographic factors include things like the hills, we have the valleys, we have the mountains, and so on. These are topographic factors. Now, moving ahead, let's take a look at some ecological factors that is common to terrestrial habitats. We're going to be looking at the ones common to terrestrial habitats, and then we're also going to look at the ones connected or common to aquatic habitat. Remember, when we are talking about terrestrial habitat, we are talking about habitat that is occupied by land, or habitat, or you can call it the land habitat, okay? So it is a land habitat. Now, they include some of the factors that are common in terrestrial habitat includes temperature, we have rainfall, we have wind, we have light, we have pressure, we have hydrogen ion concentration, which you can otherwise call a pH, we have relative humidity, we have the edaphic factors we have just looked at, we have also topographic factors. These are some of the ecological factors you can find in a terrestrial habitat. Then we also have some ecological factors you can see or find or discover in aquatic habitat. Now, these ecological factors include temperature, yes. We also have rainfall. We also have wind. We also have light, yes, because we also have to talk about turbidity, okay? Now, when we're looking at light, turbidity, they move hand in hand, where turbidity actually talks about the degree of transparency of a solution, degree of transparency of a solution. We also have other factors like pressure. We also have pH. We also have salinity, which is the degree of saltiness of a solution. We also have dissolved gases. We have density, current, tidal movement or waves, and so on. These are some of the ecological factors that is common to aquatic habitat. And then let's talk about some instruments that are used for measuring ecological factors. There are some instruments, not all things you use, but we have specific instruments that are necessary for measuring ecological factors. In fact, they help you in carrying out several population studies, carry out several researches in the ecosystem, all right? Now, we have the first one. I'm going to just mention very few of them, but we have so many. We have so many, but very few. We have rain gauge. Rain gauge, as you can see on the screen, that is a rain gauge. And what is the purpose or the function of a rain gauge? It is simply used for measuring the amount of rainfall in a given area or habitat. It is used to measure the amount of rainfall in a given area or habitat. We have the other one, which is called a potter. A potter, you can see a potter. It has two suction ends, and then it's just a very simple diagram. It has two suction ends. You can also construct that at home. Now, it is used for catching small insects in farmlands and in fields. It is used for catching small insects in farmlands and in fields. You can see that you have two ends. One of the ends is where the animal is sucked in, and the other end is where you suck in as to get the animal trapped in the container. And you can also see a gauze, a wire gauze, helping to filter death from entering into your mouth while you are sucking